back, guys. We are in the S.O.D series. We are well in right now. We're about to discuss our second new statistic, and it starts right now. Alright, we're in part 3 of our series. Make sure you go check out the other 2 videos before this. And guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting content daily on my Instagram. I'm going to be posting a new video every single week on Saturday. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to get into our second new statistic today. Last week at this time, we were talking about SODA, or S.O.D, strength of division average. So I feel like we got down into the nitty-gritty of what we needed to last week and what S.O.D is, how it can be measured to compare the average of an individual division next to the entire league. Right? We broke down how it starts with the league total win percentage for all divisions. So it's a lot more complex, I guess, because the only thing you have to really do before you get this formula is simple addition. So basically, you look at a division, and right now ESPN is a top source for those types of data. ESPN has all of the win percentages for every team. So you just go in, look at a division, high to low. Who won that division? Well, in the example I used last week, the Bills won the AFC East. So Bills had .765 win percentage. Dolphins came in second. Dolphins had I believe, .471 winning percentage. Jets came in third, so at least they didn't finish fourth, but a little dig at the Jets just because I'm a Giants fan. They finished with a 2.94 win percentage, and the Patriots had a 2.35 win percentage. So you add those up, and you get 1.765. And it goes further if you count all of these significant digits. But the point is, we're only going to 4. So you get 1.765, and then you compare that by adding up all of the divisions, and they should all equal out to 15.998. That's the highest that I've determined it to be in terms of a 17-game schedule. Now, if it was still a 16-game schedule, that win percentage league-wide is going to drop. Why? Less games to play, less chances to win, less chances to lose. So the disparity on each end in terms of losing and winning decreases, because if you're playing less games, the entire league, has less of an opportunity to win. Right? I mean, it's simple. If you stop at 16 and you only play 16 games, the winning percentage is naturally going to be lower than if you keep adding games to the schedule. So that's really kind of the basis of SODA, or strength of division average. Now the next one in line that I want to talk about is strength of division margin. So that's S.O.D.M. So S.O.D.M. And so basically the formula that I've come up with, you take the division total winning percentage of any division. So my favorite division that I like to use for examples, just because I know it, I've memorized it, is the AFC East from 2024. So again, like I just said, Bills won the division, Dolphins second, Jets third, Patriots fourth. Take that and you divide it by our division constant. So how many teams are in a division? There's 8 divisions league-wide, 32 teams. The division constant is then 4, because there's 4 teams in every single division. Now, put those in parentheses. So you get the whatever winning percentage for whatever division you do. I'm going to do the AFC East. Put that in parentheses, divide it by 4, multiply it by wins against divisional opponents. So this can be a little bit confusing. Wins against divisional opponents. And guys, I do apologize. Not division total winning percentage. Division winner winning percentage. So, not the entire division. I do apologize. Division winner in this case would be the Buffalo Bills. They had a .765 winning percentage. Okay? Divide it by 4. Multiply it by how many wins did they get against their divisional opponents. They play the Dolphins twice, Jets twice, Patriots twice. Play every team twice, so they play a total of 6 games. And this holds true for every team in any division league-wide. That's just the league standard since the league, we talked about this last time, shifted in 2002 from 5-team divisions to the modern era of 4-team divisions. And that came whenever the Texans joined the league. So, just a quick rundown on the history of that. But league-wide, that is the standard. You play 6 division games each year. And so, how many wins did they get, in parentheses, against division opponents, divided by their total possible division wins? What that means is, in the cases of, I'm going to use a different example from the same division, the Jets. Jets won 2 division games this year. They won at home against the Patriots, at home against the Dolphins. They could have won all 6 games. They did not. So, 2 divided by 6, 0.333, right? It goes on for a while, but we can just stop it there because we're only trying to get those 4 significant figures, or if one's place is 0, 3 after the decimal. So, 0.333 multiplied by whatever this top one is here. Alright, so division winning percentage. And I've used the wrong example there, guys. We're going to use the Bills for the bottom one. Bills won 5 division games. They swept the Jets, swept the Dolphins, lost Week 18 to the Patriots. They could have won 6, so 5 out of 6 offhand, that's 0.833. Multiply that by whatever this kind of numerator is, this massive, this thing in the top. So you have the division constant, and then that is dividing the winning percentage. So you take 0.765, the Bills' winning percentage of this year, the total winning percentage, not just winning percentage of the division, right? Because we already have that. That's 0.833. That's their division winning percentage against the teams in their division. So only counting Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots. So 0.765 divided by a division constant of 4, you get 0.19125. For our purposes, it's 0.191. Alright? So you take 0.191 and you multiply it by 0.833. And you get this 0.159 value. And so that value is actually the value of strength of division margin. And the way you calculate this, the way I calculated this, is by, again, looking at the highest possible winning percentage for a team is 1.000, right? Because for a team to have a 1 in there as their winning percentage, or their win total, what would that have to be? They would have to go 17-0 to get that mark. Because if it's anything under 1, what it means is that team has lost a game. If they go 16-1, their winning percentage is going to be 0.9 . So the 1 is actually 100. 100 winning percent, meaning they won 100% of their games. They finished 17-0. That's the highest. So what is the lowest? Well, no team has done this yet. I am a Giants fan. There are Titans fans. There are Browns fans. So we may see this in the near future. But no team so far has gone 0-17. No team has done it. But if they're 0-17, the winning percentage, the lowest, has to be 0.00. Absolutely no wins. So they lost every game. Because if they have anything other than 0, then at some point they won a game. So, simple math, the range for this formula is just 0 to 1. That's all it is. 0 to 1. And so, for strength of division margin, when you have this 0.159 value, again, it's one of those formulas where higher values are going to be better in calculating how a team actually performs against their division. So this is to calculate specifically the strength of the division winner, not against other division winners, right? We're not comparing Bills to Chiefs directly right here. We're comparing the Bills to the teams in their own division. They're, I guess you could say, subordinates, right? Because they beat them. They won that division. And so it's a multi statistical formula to calculate division winner strength against division opponents. That's all it comes down to. And so far, I've only really used it on the Bills. I keep using the Bills, and I keep using the AFC East because this is the division that I based a lot of these formulas, these early concepts of formulas around. And so I've kind of memorized their winning percentages and just their stats as a division. And so for the Bills, I have .159. Now let's try another example to test out how strong were the Eagles against their own division, right? So first thing you would do is you would look up Eagles winning percentage. So I've been using the ESPN database for this. You go to ESPN, you just find that winning percentage for the Eagles, single season 2024. Guys, while I'm doing this, if you guys haven't already, again, go ahead and subscribe. I am going to be posting very consistently in this coming year. Come on. And so Eagles won 14 games. Winning percentage of .824. So that's higher than the Bills. That's about, offhand, that's almost 60 higher than the Bills. .060 higher than the Bills. But you, again, to get in this range of 0.0 to 1, it's simple. You have .824. You divide it by division constant of 4. You get .206 for the Eagles. You would then take how many wins they got against their opponents, divisional opponents, divided by total possible division wins. So, who did they face this year? Dominated the Giants, dominated the Cowboys, lost on a final play touchdown to the Commanders, but they did beat the Commanders in blowout fashion in the playoffs. We're not counting playoffs. This is only regular season. So, again, you have this value of .833. Multiply it by that, and you get a value of 0.171598. So for our purposes, it's .172. We're going to round up on a 5. So Eagles are 0.172. So honestly, what I've even realized just from doing this is that the range could even be less than 1, 0 to 0.5, I think would suffice as a set range of values. But all that we're trying to calculate here is how strong, again, is a division winner against teams in their own division in comparison to their, what does it mean? How does playing the teams in their division impact their total division winning percentage? How can we calculate how strong a division winner is if we don't compare them to the teams that they faced in their division? And so you could even do it inversely, and this may even be a little bit better now that I'm thinking about it, but comparing the total winning percentage of the other teams in the division, the non-division winning teams, and doing the exact same formula with the rest of the values. And of course, you would be using 3 teams, so you have to change it. But the point holds true is that these values are intended to represent how strong a division winner is against their own division against teams that did not win their division, how does it impact their winning percentage, their strength of schedule? And this value is a representation of that, in that stats aren't everything, but in that the value itself is a calculation of winning percentage divided by the 4, the division constant. So you're basically just taking how many games they won out of 17, again, dividing it by 4, and so that's shrinking that value of the winning percentage. And so you may be thinking that those values shrinking are bad indicators, but that's all the formula is designed to do. It's designed to shrink it down so we have a consistent single value, and then we compare that to, well, how did they do against their division? Because if a division winner is not winning enough games against their divisional opponents, right? Because there have been divisions in the past where, I believe it was even the Rams a few years ago, they won their division, but they went 3-3 against division opponents. I believe the Cincinnati Bengals did this a few years ago too. They went 3-3. I believe they got swept by the Ravens and then split with the Browns, swept the Steelers. It may be a little bit different, but the idea is that division winners should be able to beat teams that aren't winning the division. Because the whole purpose of all of these stats is to measure and compare how does a division winner actually impact the playoff schedule, but how did that division winner get impacted by non-division players in their own division. Now, I know I've said division, it's turning into a shit show with how many times I say division, but you guys get the idea. Strength of division margin is, again, this formula where we're calculating why a division winner does or does not perform well against their own division, and how does that impact their winning percentage. And so this value can be kind of it can be confusing because it's a metric of this calculation, and it's a metric that indicates this team did not do well in comparison to their total winning percentage against their division, or they did like the representation of their winning percentage should suggest they did beat enough teams in their division to claim that division outright. And so that is what this means, and I think that's really what the value is intended to represent through the metrics. So again, we're going to cover this in depth in a few more videos, and I'll talk to you guys soon.